Hey everybody. So I want to share with you something we came across in Daf Yomi this week, where there is an analysis of a verse from Proverbs. King Solomon is the author of Proverbs, one of the three books in the Tanakh that he authored, Mishlei. And there's a pasuk there, there's a verse that starts off and it says, Kol yemei ani ra'im. All the days of a pauper, of a poor person, ra'im, they're bad. They're tough, they're bad, not fun. V'tov leiv mishtet hamid. But the good-hearted, mishtet hamid, for them, life is mishtet hamid. It's a constant feast. It's great. It's fantastic. So they give us four different explanations. Rabbis give us four different explanations. So Rabbi Hanina starts off, and he says, what do we mean when we talk about all the days of a poor person are ra'im? They're really, really bad. What's this in reference to? Zeh sheyesh lo isha ra'ah. This is a person who's got a bad, miserable wife. A bad wife. And the opposite, the tov leiv, what's it referred to when it talks about a good-hearted person? Mishtet hamid, that it's wonderful, it's one long feast. Zeh sheyesh lo isha tova, that's a person who's got a good wife. Now obviously, the Gemara is written by men. It refers to a spouse, man or woman. If you're in a miserable marriage, it's like jail. It's horrible. It's terrible. And that's what they're referring to over here. All the days, it's like you're a poor person. It's just this pressure, ra'im. It stinks. On the other hand, if married to someone's fantastic and you got a great marriage and things are going well, what's that? That's mishtet hamid. That is just one long party. It's one long feast. Beautiful. That's one explanation. Rav Yanai says, different thing. He says, what's it referred to? All the days of a poor person are terrible. Zeh istanis. This refers to a person. An istanis is they're very everything bothers them. It's all got to be just so perfect. Every little thing upsets them. And if you have that kind of disposition where you're so super sensitive to every little thing, man, all your days are bad. On the other hand, it tells us that if a person has dato yafa, he has a nice way of looking at life. He's not so caught up. He goes with the flow. You don't get so caught up in every little thing. It doesn't bother you. It just rolls right off you. Then, mishtet hamid. Then your life is good. It's like one long feast. It's great. It's fantastic. Third explanation, Rav Yochanan. He says, and this is kind of like the opposite, where you really shouldn't follow this necessarily, but there is still a lesson in it. It says, what does it mean when a person's kol yemei ani ra'im, all the days of a pauper are really, really bad? What's that referring to? What type of person is that? Zeh rachman. This is a person who feels another person's pain. They have too much mercy and sensitivity to everybody around them. And so life could be pretty miserable if you're constantly too empathetic. If you're too much into everyone's problems, and you kind of take it on your shoulders and take it on yourself, that's not good. Life will not be good for you. And on the other hand, the person who has this mishtet hamid, this constant feast where everything is going good, what's that a reference to? And again, it's not so nice. Zeh achzari. This is a person who's cruel. He's insensitive. He's clueless to what's going on around him, what other people are feeling. He has no awareness of it. The positive of that is, life is great. Yeah, life is fantastic. He's just clueless to all the pain going on around him. So obviously when it comes to this one, there's a happy medium over here where you shouldn't be so clueless. You should be empathetic, but not to the point where you're just walking around and bearing everyone else's cross. I know that's not really the type of metaphor a rabbi should use, but the point is that you can't walk through life feeling everyone's pain, being too sensitive to everyone. You got to be there for certain people, but you can't let it overwhelm you and take over your life. And finally, the fourth explanation, which is Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi. He says, what does it refer to when it says, Kol yemei ani ra'im, all the days of a poor person, a pauper, are terrible? This is similar to what we said earlier. That's a person who's like, they're uptight about everything. They get angry very easily. They're road rage. Everything bothers them. Everyone's an idiot, you know? And so a person who goes through life like that, where they're so impatient with every situation and every other person, it doesn't fit their worldview just right. Life stinks. Life stinks for that person, as opposed to the person, the opposite, Shadato Rechava. He's got a wide way. He's very expansive in how he looks at life. He doesn't let things upset him. He doesn't get so uptight. He just, again, goes with the flow. That's good. So again, Mishlei, this is what it's showing us. This is what it's teaching us, that there's different things that we have a choice. Yes, we are born with certain qualities and dispositions and character traits, no question about it. So you see it with babies, certain children, you see from the beginning. Some of them are very happy and smiley all the time. Some are not. But ultimately, we do have free choice and how we look at the world. And either we look at the world and in a negative way, in which case we're like paupers, we're like poor people, and life will be ra'im, it'll be very difficult and very terrible. Or we could turn it around, look at it from a positive way, be in a good situation, in which case life is mishtet tamid, it is just one long feast. My bracha is it should be more of the feast and the good things rather than the opposite. Have a good Shabbat.